All right, here it is, folks. The top 10 fastest and slowest selling cars in America right now. If you've watched some of our videos, we go out to dealer lots frequently, and I bet you we could guess some of these, but we pulled all the data back at CarEdge.com. Do you want to start with the fastest or the slowest selling, Pops?
Well, let's start with the slowest selling because those might actually represent some type of bargain.
Well, a lot of incentives. We'll talk about that as well. All right, let's go from reverse order. The number 10 spot taken up by a Maserati, Dad. The Grecale. The Grecale.
The Grecale.
That is their SUV.
The whatever. Nobody's ever heard of the damn thing. Nobody's buying them.
There are 2,171 of those Maseratis for sale nationwide. 417 have sold in the last 45 days, leading to a market days supply of 234 days, which, if I'm not mistaken, Pop's market day supply is the rate at which vehicles are selling based on, or how much inventory you have based on the rate at which vehicles are selling. The higher the market days supply, the more oversupplied they are. The lower the market day supply, the lack of.
Yeah, I think next time they're getting ready to ship those to the country, they're going to look for a vessel with EVs on it.
Dad, did not have to go there, but I get what you're saying. Dealers want a 90-day or less day supply, correct?
So do manufacturers.
Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, 241 days supply, Dad. 1,679 of these for sale nationwide. 313 have sold in the past 45 days. The lease deals on these with the $7,500 tax incentive from the federal government are really solid.
Well, maybe I should look at one.
I mean, if you were thinking about getting a different car, but
you never know.
Number 9 spot taken up by the Mitsubishi Outlander. And again, the lease incentive there is quite strong. The Ram 1500, Dad.
Yes, classic. Classic.
We've talked about this ad nauseum. 247 days supply. The Jeep Gladiator. This becomes Stellantis territory.
Yes.
291 days supply. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer.
Wow.
A 331 days supply. And yes, can you get 5 to 10% off of MSRP on these cars? Yes.
I would hope so.
Still ridiculously expensive? Yes. All right, then you have the Chrysler Pacifica, 344 days supply. Something like the Pacifica does not qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit.
Yeah.
But Chrysler's having so much trouble moving these vehicles. There's over $8,250 in incentives from Chrysler if you were to lease it, not from the federal government.
But just from Chrysler.
It makes sense if there's a 344-day supply.
I suppose.
All right, let's get into the top 4, Dad. The Ram 2500, 354 days supply. The Jeep Cherokee, 364 days supply. The Jeep Renegade, which we have ragged on ad nauseum, but it's down to a 393 days supply. And then number 1, and I want your take on this, Dad, the Lincoln Aviator, a 403-day supply. I checked in advance of this. There are not a lot of manufacturer incentives for the Aviator, which I found to be surprising.
Well, the reason is there's a stop sale on the Aviators. They have an issue, and Ford does not have the fix for it quite yet. Once they do, and the dealers are allowed to sell them again, then I would anticipate that you're going to have some hefty incentives to move those vehicles that have just been sitting on dealers' lots.
Before we get to the fastest selling, let's look back at the historical data. I love this blog post that Justin maintains on a monthly basis with the fastest and slowest selling vehicles. Back in July, Dad, the Renegade had a 516 days supply. And if we go all the way back to June, the Renegade had a 753 days supply. Look at the total sold in the last 45 days. Back in June, it was 456. Then it jumped up to 1,059. And now we are up to 1,322. The incentives on the Renegades are through the freaking roof, because they couldn't sell them, and now they're starting to sell them a little bit more.
Yes, it's they're moving the needle a little bit, but not a lot of bit. It's probably going to take even larger incentives moving forward.
It'll definitely take larger incentives. Dealers, you can negotiate a decent amount off, up to 5, 6, 7% off of a Renegade, and then the manufacturer incentives are fairly significant as well. So those are your slowest selling vehicles, Dad. What about your fastest selling vehicles? Surprise, surprise, there is not a single Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, or Ram product.
No Stellantis product in the fastest selling?
No Stellantis product on the fastest selling. Let's go from the bottom to the top.
Yes.
Toyota Highlander, 19 days supply. 8,000 of them for sale, and nearly 19,000 have sold in the last 45 days.
Man. I bet you Toyota wishes they could figure out how to get more of those to this country.
Hyundai Santa Cruz, that's am I not mistaken, is that the pickup truck?
Yeah, the Riddle pickup truck.
Wow. Yeah. Number 9 on this list, 1,283 for sale. 3,331 have sold in the last 45 days. Kia Sportage at 17 days. The Lexus ES Hybrid at 17 days. The Subaru Outback Dead at 15 days. This one surprised me because, again, we're doing the sales event and we're doing it with a Subaru dealership.
Yes.
We actually have 5.5% off of MSRP dealer discount. So this is, we should preface, all of this data is regionalized. This is national.
Yes.
But in the Northeast, they actually have a decent inventory of Outbacks.
Yes. Well, and you're going to find more Subarus and more Outbacks in the Northeast because that's one of their best-selling markets. Since it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, they don't sell quite as well, say, in Florida.
I was just surprised. I'm really surprised. 15-day supply, but we were able to pre-negotiate 5.5% off of MSRP.
Very good deal.
That's insane.
Yes.
If there's a 15-day supply.
Yes.
Top 5, Dad, Toyota Camry, 12-day supply. Kia K5, 11-day supply. And then the Telluride, CRV, and HRV all make up your top 3. The Telluride at a 10-day supply, CRV at a 9-day supply, HRV at a 9-day supply. Look at the HRV, Dad. 901 in inventory actively listed for sale nationwide. 4,652 have sold in the last 45 days. Every single one of those is pre-sold before it gets to the dealership, right?
It would certainly seem that way.
So the fastest selling vehicles are the ones you have the least negotiability on. The slowest selling vehicles are the ones you have the most negotiability on. You look at the historical data, Dad, there's a trend here. You don't see any of the American brands really popping up, the domestic brands in these lists. We look back at the July data. The Corvette was in the July data. The Ford Maverick was in the July data, but those are the inventories for those are building back up. The Asian brands are the ones that people want, that are in demand, and that they can't seem to produce enough of.
That are in short supply. Yeah. It's been that way for a while.
All right, well, there you go. We've got all the data back at CarEdge.com. Fastest and slowest selling vehicles in the United States. Let us know what area of the country you're in and where you're seeing.
And what you're seeing in your
lots
region.
of inventory at some dealers, non-inventory at others. Let us know.
Yeah, please. Absolutely.